Here comes Creon.
Men, after much tossing about of our state, the gods have safely set things right again. Of all the citizens I summoned you, because I know how well you showed respect for Oedipus. Now his sons have perished in a single day, killing each other with their own 2 hands. A double slaughter stained with brothers' blood.
Stained with brothers' blood.
And so I now have the throne, all royal power, for I'm the one most closely linked by blood to those who have been killed. That's why I've announced my plans for the sons of Oedipus. Antigone, who perished in the fight to save our city. The best and bravest of all warriors will have his burial, and all those purifying rituals which accompanied the noble. But as for his brother, that Polynices, who returned from exile, eager to wipe out in all-consuming fire our city and its native gods for him, the proclamation in the state declares that he'll have no burial mound, no funeral rites, and no lament. He will be left unburied, his body there for birds and dogs to eat. That is my decision.
Oh, Creon, it seems to me you now control all our laws, those concerning the ones who have died and for us as well, the ones still living.
See to it then, and act as guardians of what's been proclaimed.
Give that task to some other men to deal with.
There are men assigned to oversee the cause.
Then what remains that you would have us do?
Don't yield to anyone who disobeys my orders.
No one is such a fool that he loves death.
Yes, that will be his full reward indeed.
No shame, no ruin, not one dishonor which we have not seen. They're saying now our general has proclaimed something about our brothers throughout the city. Do you know of it? Have you heard?
I've had no word at all, Antigone. Well, not since our brothers were killed. What is it? You look like something's bothering you.
I know. That's why I brought you here outside the gates so only you can hear. Look at what Creon is doing to our 2 brothers. He's honoring one with a full funeral and treating the other one disgracefully. Antigone has had his burial, according to our customary rites. But as for Polynices, he's to have no funeral and no lament, to be left unburied and unwept. That's what the noble Creon has announced, and he's come to state it clearly for those who have not heard. This matter, he is serious. Anyone who acts against the order will be stoned to death before the city.
Oh, my poor sister. If that's what's happening, what can I do that will be of any help to ease the situation?
You must work with me on this. We must act together.
In what kind of work?
Help me take up Polynices' body and bury it.
What? You're going to bury Polynices when that's been made a crime for all in Thebes?
Yes. I'll do my duty to my brother, and yours too if you're not prepared to. I won't be caught betraying him.
You're too rash. Has Creon not expressly banned that act?
Yes, but he's got no right to keep me from honoring my brother.
Oh dear, think, Antigone. Consider how our father Oedipus died, hated and disgraced. And there's our own 2 brothers, both butchered in a single day. That ill-fated pair with their own hands slaughtered one another. Consider are much more powerful. We must obey or we face even harsher penalties.
Then I won't try to convince you to do this with me. I will still bury my brother, even if that means I must die and be buried with him. My respect for the dead will last much longer than for the living. And if you wish, you can show your contempt for the laws of God's hold and honor.
I'm not disrespecting them, but I can't act against the state. It's not my nature.
Let that be your excuse. I'm going now to bury my brother.
Antigone, I'm so afraid for you.
Don't fear for me. Set your own fate in order.
Make sure you don't reveal to anyone what you intend. Keep it closely hidden and I'll do the same.
No. I want you to announce the fact. If you don't, I'll despise your silence even more.
But you're after something which you're incapable of carrying out.
Well, when my strength gives out, then I'll give up.
A vain attempt should not be made at all.
I'll hate you if you're going to talk that way. And you'll rightly earn the loathing of the dead. Leave me and my foolishness alone. We'll get through this fearful thing. Besides, I won't suffer anything as bad as a disgraceful death.
All right then, go, if that's what you think right, but remember this, even though your mission makes no sense, I do truly love you.
Polynices? Polynices, my brother! Where are you? Polynices! Polynices! Where did they put you? Polynices! Oh! Oh! Oh!
Come out of breath by running here, making my feet move fast. Many times I've stopped to think things over, and then I turn around and retrace my steps. My mind was saying many things to me. You fool! Why go to where you know for sure your punishment awaits? For now I've come, clinging to the hope that I shall not suffer anything that's not part of my destiny.
What's happening that's made you so upset?
I want to tell you first that I did not do it. I didn't see who did it, so it would be unjust if I should be punished.
Clearly, you have news of something ominous.
Oh yes, strange things make me pause. A lot.
Why not say it and then go? Just leave.
Okay, I'll tell you.
It's about the corpse.
Someone has buried it and poof, disappeared.
What are you saying? What man would dare this?
I don't know. There's no signs of digging. No marks. The ground is very hard and smooth.
Ooh. Ah.
Whoever did it left no trace.
My lord, I've been wondering for some time now. Could this act not be something from the gods?
Stop now! Before what you're about to say enrages me completely and reveals that you're not only naive, but stupid too. No one can tolerate what you've just said.
Go?
You think gods might care about this corpse? Would they pay extraordinary honors and bury a man who came to burn their offerings, their temples, to torch their lands, to scatter all its laws? Do you see gods paying respect to evil men? No. Silence! For if great Zeus still has my respect, then understand this. Unless you find the one whose hands really buried him, unless you bring him here before my eyes, then death will never be enough for you.
Can I talk now? Or do I just turn around and walk away?
I find your voice so irritating. Don't you realize?
Well, where does it hurt? Is it in your ears or your mind?
Why try to question where I feel my pain?
Well, the man who did it, he offends your mind. I upset your ears.
Well, my. It's clear to see that it's natural for you to chatter on.
Perhaps, but I didn't do this.
If you don't reveal to me who did this, you will suffer.
I sure hope they find him. That would be best. But whether caught or not, you won't see me coming here again.
There are many strange and wonderful things, but nothing more strangely wonderful than man.
A resourceful man whose skills can overcome ferocious beasts roaming mountain heights.
He's taught himself speech and wind-swift thoughts. There's no event his skill cannot confront, other than death. That alone he cannot shun.
The qualities of his inventive skills regards beyond his dreams and lead him on, sometimes to evil and sometimes to good.
If he treats his country's laws with due respect and honors justice by swearing on the gods, he wins high honors in his city.
But when he grows bold and turns evil, then he has no city.
A man like that, let him not share my home or know my mind.
Go with me. There.
What's this? Can't deny what I see here so clearly. It's Antigone. Oh, you poor girl, daughter of Oedipus. What's going on? Surely they've not brought you here because they found you disobeying royal law. Because they've caught you acting foolishly.
This one is the one who carried out the act. We caught her as she was burying the corpse. Where's Creon?
Coming from the house, just in time.
Why have I come just in time? What's happening? What is it?
My lord, I should have not said that I'd never return. So come back, breaking the oath I swore. I bring this girl, captured while honoring the grave. Take her for questioning, convict her, do as you wish.
This girl here. How did you catch her? And where?
She was burying that man. Now you know all there is to know.
Do you understand just what you're saying? Are your words the truth?
We caught this girl giving that dead man's corpse full burial rites, and act you made illegal. Is what I say simple and clear enough?
You there. You with your face bent down towards the ground. What do you say? Do you deny you did this or admit it?
I admit I did it. I won't deny that.
You're dismissed. Go where you want. You're free. No serious charges made against you. Tell me briefly, not in some lengthy speech. Were you aware there was a proclamation forbidding what you did?
I'd heard of it. How could I not? It was public knowledge.
And yet you dared to break those very laws.
Yes. I did not think anything you said to be strong enough to override the gods and their unwritten, unchanging laws. They are not just for today or yesterday, but exist forever. So I was not going to let the fear of any human will lead to my punishment among the gods. I know all too well I'm going to die. How could I not? It makes no difference what you decree. And if I have to die before my time, well, I count that a gain. When someone has to live the way I do, surrounded by so many evil things, how can she fail to find a benefit in death? And so for me, meeting this fate brings me no pain. But if I were to let my dead brother lie there, an unburied corpse, well, then I'd feel distress. What is going on here does not hurt me. And if you think what I'm doing is stupid, maybe I'm being charged with foolishness by someone who's a fool.
It's clear enough the spirit in this girl is passionate. Her father was the same.
Pride has no place in anyone who is his neighbor's slave. This girl here was already very insolent in breaking laws which we had proclaimed. Here she again displays her proud contempt. Having done the act, she now boasts of it. She laughs at what she's done. Well, if she gets her way here and goes unpunished, then she's the man, not me. Now, she may be my sister's child, closer to me by blood than anyone belonging in my house, anyone who worships Zeus in my home. She'll not escape my harshest punishment. Her sister, too, whom I accuse as well.
No,
She had an equal part in their plans to do this burial.
she didn't.
Go summon her here. I just saw her now inside the palace. Her mind out of control, some kind of fit.
Take me and kill me. What more do you want?
Me? Nothing. With that, I have everything.
Then why the delay? There is nothing in your words that I enjoy. May that always be the case. Where can I gain greater glory than setting my brother in his grave? Those here would agree with me if their lips weren't sealed by fear. Being king, which offers you various benefits, means you can talk and act just as you wish.
In all of Thebes, you're the only one who looks at things that way.
They share my views, but they keep their mouths shut just for you.
These views of yours, so different from the rest, don't they bring you any sense of shame?
There is nothing shameful in honoring my mother's children.
You had a brother killed fighting for the other side.
Yes, from the same mother and father too.
Why then give tribute which insults his name?
His dead corpse won't back up what you say.
Yes, he will. If you give equal honors to a wicked man
That was not some wicked man. It was his own
who
brother.
was destroying this country. The other went to his death defending it.
That may be. But Hades still requires equal rights for both.
A good man does not wish we give him the same an evil man receives.
Who knows? Maybe in the world below, such actions are no crime.
An enemy can never be a friend,
My nature,
not even in death.
my nature is to love, Creon. I cannot hate.
They go down to the dead. You must love them. No woman is going to govern me, not while I'm still alive.
Here's his meaning. And she's crying. How she must love her sister.
You there, you snake lurking in my house, sucking out my life's blood so secretly. I'd no idea I was nurturing two pests who aim to rise against my throne. Come here. Tell me this. Do you admit you played your part in this burial? Or will you swear an oath you had no knowledge of it?
I did it. I admit it, and she'll back me up, so I bear the guilt as well.
No, no! Justice will not allow you to say that you didn't work with it, you didn't want to.
But now you're in trouble. I'm not ashamed of suffering too as your companion.
Hades and the dead can say who did it. I don't love a friend whose love is only words.
You're my sister. Don't dishonor me. Let me respect the dead and die with you.
Don't try to make a claim to actions or share my death. mocking you. It pains me to.
Even now, is there some way I can help?
Save yourself. I won't envy your escape, and
I feel so wretched leading you to die.
you chose life. It was my choice to die, Isn't it?
But not before I'd said those words just now.
Some may agree with how you think. Others will think I'm doing the right. Be brave. It's me. You're alive. I set my fate in order. I died a long time ago so that I may help my brother, Polynices.
I'll say, one of you girls has just revealed how mad she is. The other's been that way since she was born.
My lord, whatever good sense people have by birth no longer stays with them. Once their lives go wrong, it abandons them.
In your case, that's true. Once you made your decision to act in evil ways with wicked people.
How could I live alone without her here?
Don't speak of her being here. Her life is over.
You're going to kill your own son's bride.
Why not? There are other fields for him to plow.
No one will make him a more loving wife than she will.
I have no desire my son should have an evil wife.
Dearest Haemon, how your father wrongs you.
I've had enough of this. You and your marriage.
You really want that? You're going to take her from him.
No, not me. Hades is the one who stopped the marriage.
So she must die. That seems decided on.
Yes. For you and me, the match is closed. No more delay. You, take them inside.
Please, please, Chris.
From this point on, they are to act like women and have no liberty to wander off.
Those who live without tasting evil have happy lives.
But when the gods shake a house to its foundations, then disaster strikes, falling upon whole families.
O Zeus, from now on into all future time, as in the past, your law holds firm. It never enters lives of human beings in its full force without disaster.
Here comes Haemon, your only son. Is he grieving the fate of Antigone, his bride? Is he bitter that his marriage hopes are gone?
We'll soon find out. My son, have you heard the sentence that's been passed upon your bride? And have you come here now angry at your father? Or are you loyal to me, on my side, no matter what I do?
Father, you know I'm yours. For me, usually, your judgments and the ways you act on them are good.
Indeed, my son, that's how your heart should always be resolved. To stand behind your father's judgment on every issue. Don't ever throw good sense aside for pleasure, or for some woman's sake. Spit this girl out. She is your enemy. Let her marry someone else in Hades. Since I caught her clearly disobeying, the only culprit in the entire city, I won't perjure myself before the state. No. I'll kill her. And so, let her appeal to Zeus, the god of blood relationships. If we must fall from power, let that come at some man's hand. At least then we won't be called inferior to any woman.
My lord, unless we're being deceived, what you've said seems reasonable to us.
Father, the gods instill good sense in men, the greatest of all things that we possess. But because of who you are, you can't perceive all the things men say or do, or their complaints. Your gaze makes citizens afraid, but in the darkness I can hear them talk. The city is upset about my Antigone. They say, of all women here, she least deserves the worst of deaths for her most glorious act. So please end your anger. Permit yourself to change.
My lord, if what he said is relevant, then it seems appropriate to learn from him. And you too, Haemon. You should listen to the king. The things which both of you said were excellent.
Well then, are we then going to school to learn what's wise for men as young as him?
And what's wrong with that? And if I'm too young, don't look at my age. Look at what I do.
And what you do. Does that include this? Honoring those who act against all laws?
I would not encourage anyone to show respect to an evil man.
And her. Is she not suffering from the same disease?
The people here in Thebes all say the same. They deny she is.
So the city now will instruct me how I am to govern. Am I to rule this land at someone else's whim or by myself?
A city which is governed by one man is no true city.
You're the worst there is. You set your judgment up against your father.
No, not when I see you making a mistake and being unjust.
Is it a mistake to honor my own rule?
You're not honoring that by trampling on the gods' prerogatives.
You foul creature. You're worse than any woman.
What do you want? To speak and never hear someone reply.
You'll never marry her while she's alive.
Then she'll die. And in her death, she'll kill someone else.
Are you so insolent you threaten me?
Where's the threat in challenging a bad decree?
You'll regret parading what you think like this. You, a person with an empty brain.
If you were not my father, I might say that you weren't thinking straight.
Would you indeed? Someone, go bring her out. That hateful creature. So she can die right here with him present.
No! She'll not die with me just standing here. And as for you, your eyes will never see my face again. So let your rage charge out amongst your friends who'll have it.
My lord, Timon left in such a hurry. He's angry. And a young man at his age, the mind turns bitter when he's feeling hurt.
Let him dream up or carry out some great deed beyond the power of man. He'll not save these girls. Their fate is sealed.
You're going to kill them both?
No, not the one whose hands are clean. You're right.
How do you plan to kill Antigone?
I'll take her down a path no people use. Hide her in a cavern in the rocks, while still alive. I'll set out provisions, as much as piety requires, to make sure the city is not totally corrupted. Then she can speak her prayers to Hades, the only god she worships, for success avoiding death. Or else, at least, she'll learn, although too late, how it's a waste of time to work to honor those whom Hades holds.
O Eros, even in good men you twist their minds, perverting them to self-ruin. You provoke these men to family strife.
When I look at her, I forget my place. I lose restraint and I can't hold back my emotions. Antigone, going to her bridal room where all are laid to rest in death.
Look at me, my native citizens, as I go on my final journey, as I gaze upon the sunlight one last time. For Hades, who brings all people to their final sleep, leads me on while I'm still living. My wedding song has not been sung. For my marriage is to the grave.
Surely you carry fame with you in praise, as you move to the deep home of the dead.
You push your journey to the limit, my child. Perhaps your agonies are some compensation for your father.
Now there you touch on my most painful thought. My father's destiny, always on my mind, along with that whole fate which sticks to us. The curse arising from my mother's marriage bed, which she shared with her own son, my father. From what kind of parents was I born? I go to them now, unmarried and accursed, an outcast. Polynices made a fatal marriage and then died. And in his death, he killed
Take her and shut her up, as I have ordered, in a king's embrace. And get it done as quickly as you can. Then leave her there alone, all by herself. She can sort out whether she wants suicide or to remain alive, buried in a place like that. As far as she's concerned, we bear no guilt. But she's lost her place living here with us.
Oh, my tomb in my bridal chamber, where I go to join my people. I go nourishing the vital hope that my father will be pleased to see me. And you too, my mother, will welcome me. And you too, Polynices. When you died, with my own hands, I washed your body. I arranged your corpse, and at the grave mound poured out libations. But now, Polynices, this is my reward for covering your corpse. For wise people, I was right to honor you. I'd never done it for children of my own. No, not as their mother. And I wouldn't have done it for a dead husband lying in decay. No, not in defiance of the citizens. What law do I appeal to claiming this? Well, if it were children of my own, I could have another with some other man. And if it were my husband, I could have another. But since my mother and my father too are hidden away in Hades' house, I will never have another living brother as long as I'm alive. That was the law. I used to honor you, Polynices. Creon thought I was in the wrong and acting recklessly for you, my brother. Now he seizes me by force and brings me here to die. What holy justices have I violated? In my wretchedness, why should I call upon the gods? Which one can I invoke to bring me help when for my reverence they charge me with impiety? Well then, this is something fine among the gods. I'll come to recognize that I'm in the wrong. But if those here are being unjust, they suffer no greater punishment than the injustices they're doing to me.
Surely this girl is not rational.
And those escorting her will be sorry they're so slow.
Alas, those words mean death is very near at hand.
I won't encourage you or cheer you up by saying the sentence won't be carried out.
O city of my fathers, in this land of thieves, I have been led away. No more delaying for me. I am the last survivor of your royal house. See what I have to undergo for paying reverence to true piety.
But the power of faith is full of mystery.
There's no evading it.
No, not with wealth.
Or war.
Or wall.
Or black sea-beaten ships.
She was of godlike nature, goddess sprung, and we are mortals and of human race. It were glorious odds for a maiden slain to be among the equals of the gods in life, and then in death to gain a place. My lord, it's Tiresias, the prophet.
Lord, we too have walked a common path. One person's vision serving both of us. Blind need a guide to find their way.
What news do you have, O Tiresias?
I'll tell you, and you obey the prophet.
I have not rejected your advice before.
That is why you steered the city on its proper course.
From my experience, I can confirm the help you give.
Didn't know this. Your luck is once more on fate's razor edge.
What? What you just said makes me nervous.
I hear among those birds, and then a cry. Evil and intelligible, angry screaming. I knew that they were tearing at each other with murderous claws. Our state is sick, and your policies have done this. The gods no longer will accept our sacrifice or our prayers. Consider this, my son. All men make mistakes, and that is not uncommon. But when they do, they are no longer foolish if they try to fix the evil into which they have fallen.
Old man, you're all like archers shooting at me. Even if Zeus's eagles should choose to seize that festering body and take it right up to the throne of Zeus, not even then would I permit that corpse a burial.
Alas, does any man know or think about
Think what? What sort of pithy common thought are you about to utter?
how good advice is valuable, worth more than all possessions?
I think that's true. As much as foolishness is what harms us most.
Yet, that is the sickness now affecting you.
You do know you're speaking of the man who rules
I
you.
know! Thanks to me, you saved the city and now we're in control.
You're a wise prophet, Tiresias, but you love doing wrong.
You forced me to speak your secrets locked inside my heart.
Do it! Just don't speak to benefit yourself.
I will not be doing that. Not as far as you're concerned.
You can be sure you won't speak to make yourself more rich.
Then understand this well. You will not see the sun race through its cycle many times before you lose a child of your own loins. You have moved a living soul into a grave. It won't be long before in your own house, the men and women all cry out with sorrow. The city's rising hate against you. Like an archer, I shoot these arrows now into your heart because you have provoked me. I'm angry, so my aim is good. You will not escape their pain.
My lord, such dreadful prophecies, and now he's gone. In all my days, I know here in the city that he has never uttered a false prophecy.
I know that too. And it disturbs my mind. It's dreadful to give way, but to resist and let destruction hammer down my spirit. That's a fearful option too.
Creon, you need to listen to some good advice.
Tell me what to do. Speak up. I'll do it.
Go and release the girl from her rock tomb, and then prepare a grave for that unburied corpse.
This is your advice. You think I should concede?
Yes, as fast as possible.
Alas, it's difficult. But I'll do it. I'll not do what I set my heart upon. It's not right to fight against necessity.
Go now and get this done. Don't give this work to other men.
Since I'm the one who tied her up, I'll go set her free myself. Now I'm afraid.
No! Antigone! My bride, how could this happen to you?
Son, what are you thinking?
done?
I'm sorry. I didn't intend for any of this to happen. No. Wait, son, what are you doing?
Now, I too shall die.
No!
Creon, in my view, was once a man we all looked up to. For he saved this state from its enemies. And he prospered with the birth of noble children. But now all is gone. For when a man has lost what gives him pleasure, I don't include him among the living. He's a breathing corpse. Have you come with news of some fresh trouble in our house of kings? They're dead. And those alive bear the responsibilities for those who died. Who did the killing? Who's lying dead? Tell us. Antigone and Haemon have been killed. Haemon is dead? Was it at his father's hand, or did he kill himself? By his own hand. Angry at his father for the murder of my sister. Oh, Tiresias, how your words have proven true. That's how things stand, but let us consider what comes next. Creon's wife, poor Eurydice, just now she came from inside the house. She'd heard the news about her son and insisted that I tell her the news again. That Haemon had found Antigone in the furthest corner of the tomb, hanging by her neck. He embraced her and called out in sorrow for the loss of his bride. Creon went after Haemon and asked him, "What are you thinking, my son? Please, come out of this tomb!" But Haemon just stared at him, spat in his face. And he leaned into his own sword. When she'd heard this, the queen left without a word, good or bad. When she entered the palace, she was overcome with grief. She too killed herself. Here comes the king now. A clear reminder that these evils come not from some stranger's hand, but from his own mistakes.
Mistakes made by a foolish mind. Cruel mistakes that bring on death. Oh, the profanity of what I planned. Alas, my son, you died so young. A death before your time. You're dead. Gone. Not your own foolishness, but mine.
Alas, it seems you've learned to see what's right, but far too late.
I learned it through my pain. Some god, clutching a great weight, struck my head and hurled me onto paths in wilderness, casting underfoot what once brought me joy. Oh, the wretched agony of human life.
My lord, you come like one who stores up evil. What you've seen, and what you will see before too long inside the house.
What are you saying? Is there something still more evil than all of this?
Your wife is dead. Slaughtered with a sword.
Why are you destroying me? You then, you bringer of this dreadful news, this agony. What are you saying now? What are you saying? My wife, alas, is she dead? What is there in life for me now? What's fate still got in store? I just held my own son in my arms. And now, there is another corpse. Alas, for this suffering mother. Alas, my son. How did she die so violently?
She killed herself. Once she'd heard about her son.
Alas for me, the guilt for all of this is mine. It can never be removed from me or passed on to any other mortal man. I, and I alone, I murdered you. I speak the truth. Hurry and lead me up. For now, what I am in life is nothing.
What you advise is good. If good can come with all of these evils. When things like this happen in life, the less we do, the better.
Let that day come. Oh, let it come. The fairest of all destinies for me. Oh, let it come, so that I never see another dawn.
That is something for the times ahead.
In that prayer, I include everything I most desire.
Pray for nothing. There's no release for mortal human beings, not from events which destiny has set.
Then take this foolish man away from here. Alas, my son, you're dead. And you as well, my wife. How useless I am now. I don't know where to look or find support. Everything I touch goes wrong. And on my head, fate climbs up with its overwhelming load.
Tristan Thompson, and Tiresias plays Antigone now is Tattnall County. Congratulations, Tattnall County. And the region winner with Antigone.
you.